Can you tell me where are the space arcs located?
Atlantic, Pacific, Germany, Asia, Antarctica, Arctic,
How many are there?
12.
What are they used for?
They're used for many things. To balance, to mediate, to bring life, to enhance life, to travel, to
Why is multinations allowed to cooperate on these projects? On this project.
allow for growth. So that everyone have an opportunity to share or see possibilities.
What is the desired outcome?
Unity, expansion of consciousness, raise awareness, raise the collective consciousness, open the possibility of more abilities that have been locked will now be unlocked, taught, regained, That's important. Not for control, but to allow the development. But uh, conformity, but not in a strict way. Just an allowance to be made aware of.
What is Amy's role in these missions?
She goes to it's like an update. Whenever she's around in the area of these portals, it just floods in. The memories, the recollection, the abilities. It's like a renewing energy of remembering what once was and what can be again. So she's just updating. When she does that, she's able to bring that energy back and put it into the community, into her network of people. But it's an exchange. So even though she's giving, she also has to take on and transmute the energy that's around her. She can do it. It's a lot, but she can do it.
Why can't JP discuss this information?
Ego, but not so much his, because he wants to tell everybody, whoever will listen. He wants to talk about his experience. But the organization he belongs to has an order. That's why he can talk to select groups and not just any platform. Even if he did tell it on the platform, people's belief systems may not. There's a possibility that they would change, but most would be frightened. And we don't want to cause fear. That's why he sticks to specific groups.
You stated that he was ordered. Who was he ordered by?
I said he belongs to an order.
Oh, he belongs to him. Okay. What was done to JP in the military hospital?
Is that Qhrt? He was told it was a physical evaluation and sleep. I want to say deprivation, but he was put through mental stasis. See his functionality of different transportation missions he's been on out of the world, out of the earth. Just to see how much he could recall, whether or not the memory transgressions were working. And the ability he has to recall, or how much mental pressure he can stand. But it's him and others that were a part of that.
Was he and the others going through a training at that point?
They're preparing for one. To see the conditions and what they could remember, if they remember, with the situations they were given.
Who was administering this training or testing on
The Alliance of Seven.
Did he ever go through any sort of training?
He's been through many trainings. He is in the military.
For the training that he needed to go into space?
Of course, he's been in training since he was a child. He's been training.
Was there, or who was participating in this training?
many VOD members. Six of them. They're just so currently active. In that group, they were all male.
What were they doing during the training?
They were training for a mission that's going to Saturn. But whenever they go there, they were also going to retrieve some of the slaves and bring them back. Like they've done before. But in previous missions, they've been sold or jailed. But we've sent the appropriate support and got them out of there quickly. But other missions are going to be more daunting. That's what the training was for.
So who was doing the training? Who was who was instructing them or guiding them through this training?
It was us. We work with him for a long time. He meets with us. He knows who we are. White hair, blue eyes, pale skin, humanoid, bipedal. Long, flowy hair. Like a cloak. Like a blue cloak. A white uniform. Very pale skin.
Right. Can we go to Amy's mission? Was Amy's experiences in the military related to alien missions?
Amy's missions at Fort Riley. Amy's missions.
Was Amy's experiences in the military related to alien missions?
The ones before the military, yes. She had to. She didn't have to. She was curious. I was trying to find a way back.
Find a way back to what?
She was used in other missions. Not on Earth. That's why she had a calling, a desire to go into the military, because she was good at it. She was trained from very young.
Okay. What was the time at the VA hospital?
So she was being returned. She kept remembering instead of allowing us to block it out. She kept remembering. The thing is, whenever you remember, but don't fully remember, it causes mental disturbances because you can't piece it together and don't understand. But it was time for her to begin to, especially since she set up to herself to remember. So but it was met with challenges. In the instance that she's referring to, there was also others in there that were remembering. Everybody has their own experience of what they remember and what they bring back, how they allow themselves to navigate the world after their missions. She chose to heal and to help and support people. Not everybody chose that mission. And the person that was after her remembered that he was trying to kill her in the previous mission. Luckily for her, at that time, another person who had also been through the same was on her team, was continuing to look out for her. And he fought with the other person on Earth, just as they had done on previous missions. Because they were unarmed this time. It was just their mental remembrance or unremembering, and the medication they put them on to try to continue to remove instead of allowing them to remember. She, of course, did not take any of the medication. She's stubborn like that. Because she wanted to remember. But she couldn't remember what she wanted to remember. Not fully.
Are you able to unlock those memories right now for her?
She's been remembering slowly.
Okay.
And recovering them.
Who was her roommate?
Her roommate, she was, again, because of where they met, all of them were remembering parts of histories past that they lived. Some of them they thought was on the world, but it wasn't. So her roommate was the first test tube, I think is what the girl called it. But it wasn't of Earth. Test tube baby. I bet she did remember that she was the first. And the serial number she was saying over and over was her port ID. But since most humans don't understand or know, they label it as schizophrenia and depression.
Why was her roommate there?
Because she didn't know why she remembered that number. She was having a hard time dealing with being a test tube baby. And since they were in the military, they linked it to military trauma.
Right. What events happened in the hallway?
I discussed that previously.
What was the purpose?
The one that was trying to attack her, excuse me, was on the Draconian team. So he believed he was able to dominate anyone, anything, at any time. In his current mind at the time, he was male of Earth, but he didn't know why he had such resentment. But we're showing her now images of him as his previous.
The Draconian?
Yes. Whenever he was returned to his human form, he had like a trace sense that they were on opposing teams, and he needed to defeat her. So he was trying to. But at the time, she traveled in a team, and one of the other team members defended her.
Mm-hmm. And what was happening when she couldn't move her physical body?
We've been showing her that this whole time. It's a stasis.
Okay.
To where when she remembers the things that she remembers that we tried to remove or block. This feeling she gets it's almost separation, because she's recalling it, being drawn to the times when she could do it on her own, just go where she needed to go. Some of her powers were used just for the mental action. However, she put memory stones in there to help her remember. She called them memory doors. And she just stuck it behind a door and closed it. Like a little treasure box to open later as a memory.
Interesting.
So when she did or encountered similar situations, it would automatically open and unlock. But by doing that, it would jolt her body, make it feel like she was lifting out of it, which would paralyze her physical self while it was doing this. And being in a room, mostly male dominant, immediately opened several boxes at once to where she felt defenseless because she physically couldn't move for that. It was opening many boxes at one time.
All right. What was the significance of being stationed at Fort Riley?
All the military installations are connected to interstellar travel, reconnaissance, the one at Fort Riley was calling to her because of her genes, as well as that's where she entered an arc. You weren't there, that's why you couldn't be there. You would have definitely noticed the shift in her. They had technology they wanted reversed. And since she was trained as a child, she wasn't afraid to then, as an adult, talk or mediate.
Okay. Why has Amy traveled to or been to all the Army posts and most of the Air Force/Navy bases?
Navy? I don't know Navy.
Mm-hmm.
But the bases, every time she visits or goes, she's needed. She's a lot older than what she looks. She's an instructor, designer. A healer. Communicator. communicator. That's why she picked communication. But she has jobs to do at each one. Time is easily manipulated, especially your version of it.
Is the job she's supposed to do at each base different at each base?
No.
So what job is she supposed to do there then?
Exactly what I just said.
Okay. Making sure. Why is she now remembering?
Now's the time. She can remember. She can talk about it, share it. Many people's belief systems won't allow it. But she talks about it and shows her passion and compassion for it, maybe. Besides for saving herself, it might save somebody else.
Why can she not recall everything right now?
Little breadcrumbs. Like before, when she does remember, it paralyzes her physical body, and the treasure boxes or doors unlock, and just the memories flood in. And it could be a lot. So if that were to happen all at once, we don't exactly know what would happen to her mental state. So it's best to do it by breadcrumbs.
Okay. What does she do in space?
In space. What did she do, or what?
What does she do?
She's an instructor. She's a part of the Galactic Alliance. She instructs for the Galactic Federation. She's a mediator for alliances.
How is all this connected?
It's her life, the one she chose to focus on.
Was Amy used for the secret space program?
Yes.
What does she do?
She's a mediator. She goes between densities and speaks on behalf of others who can't.
How did they find her?
Like they find most. For her, she was often abandoned, abused as a child. Those are the easiest targets. We gather them, train them, teach them many skills. Between 5 and 12. And why her oldest feels such abandonment. She was taken at the age of 17. Not the daughter, but her. We used her for 17 years. And then two years as an instructor for the new recruits. And then we regressed her back. So the reason why the adult now feels abandonment as a child is because of that time gap. But she doesn't remember why.
How was she tracked? Was she tracked during this time period?
Yes.
Can you share with us how she was tracked? What other missions has Amy done? Has Amy been on other missions?
Yes. If we save them out, it will open the box, open the door.
Okay. We do not want to do that today.
Has to be specific or directed towards the remembrance.
So the memories that she currently has from these missions, is it okay for her to talk about this information?
Yes.
Will talking about it bring her any harm?
No.
So she will be no harm from anybody then?
No.
Why doesn't the Nordics and why doesn't the Nordics and Secret Space Program allow the all for one simulation and make everyone aware of it at once?
That will happen.
Can you share when that will happen?
By 2027.
All right. I'd like to move on to some questions pertaining to Donovan. Is it okay if I ask some questions about Donovan today?
Yes.
Has he been trained to be a super soldier?
Yes.
At what age did that start?
6.
How long was the training?
Till he was 11.
Why was he trained?
He was trained for his strength and speed. To work with the Galactic Federation. As a we call it flight engineer. To fly a craft. And make deliveries.
Did they also train Orion?
Yes.
Where did they train?
In Colorado.
What training did they do?
I showed them how to use weapons, clean them, put them together, how to fly craft, how to obtain physical optimal health, how to follow orders, exceed expectation.
What was the training for? Are you able to share with us what the training was for?
He had signed a contract to do missions.
Where was the missions? Are you able to share with us what those missions were? What those missions were? Where did they live?
On the ship.
What did it look like?
An arrowhead. That big.
What did they eat on the ship?
Couch food.
What type of clothes did they wear?
He had longer hair. More of a square face. Like rustic white uniform, zippers, pockets with zippers on the arms and legs. These big, clunky boots. They're heavy. I don't know why they're heavy. I think they're magnetic. I don't know why they need to be magnetic though.
What did they do in a typical day?
Before they're sent on mission, they would do their checks, make sure they had supplies, make sure it wasn't mechanical checks, make sure they had supplies. Fix or work on anything that need to be worked on. Sit in on meetings. They're on mission. It would be delivering supplies or people. We're protecting the delivery. Depends on the meeting or the mission. It was both him and his brother.
How long did they do that?
$19 years.
What contracts did they sign?
When they were recruited, to sign the contract, they were going to live and be a part of the Galactic Federation. Which was to support protect, supply, accompany the council members as well as mediate.
What was the process to begin the mission?
I already told you.
Okay. What was the process to begin the mission for the training they received?
Well, they came from a split home. Lots of conflict, turmoil between the parents, lack of communication. So they were picked.
How old were they when they were started the mission?
Seven and 5. The missions, not the training.
Yeah.
Training, 7 and 5. The missions, $16 and $18.
And you said they did the mission for 19 years?
Yes.
How did they get back?
We regress them in age, body weight, or density. Restore their mind back to what they remembered.
Does he remember this in his timeline now?
No.
Why doesn't he remember it?
If he were to remember, we don't know. But because he doesn't remember, he's doing well in the military.
So do they track him now?
Sometimes.
How do they track him?
In his forearm, his left forearm, he has a implant. Which if you look, you can see. Because he tried to mentally remove it, and now it's swollen, like almost like a cyst or a lymph node, but that's not what it is.
Well, who is they? I'm referring to the they that are tracking him.
The people who had trained him.
Are you able to share with us who trained him?
He's just a piece of military equipment. It's his marker.
What secret space program tracks him?
I don't know of secret space program. He was a part of the Galactic Federation.
Okay. Does Orion belong to the same?
Yes.
Is Orion still tracked?
Yes. His left shin is how he's tracked.
Was Orion's process to get back the same as Donovan's?
Yes.
How long did that process take?
About a month. In your time.
Okay. To what age were they restored?
16 and 18.
Okay. Why were they allowed to join the military after that mission?
They didn't for a while. But when it came down to it, Donovan wanted to be with his brother and seeing an opportunity that they can create something better for themselves together.
Mm-hmm. Why is now the time to remember?
They don't remember.
Is Donovan to use his power or abilities now?
He is becoming aware of things he once remembered. Mostly because he thinks his brother has stronger abilities. They have the same.
So he can use his powers now?
Yes. But he's still young. He's still learning and adapting.
Then move on to some questions pertaining solely to Amy. Why did she feel like someone was watching her at 101 Depression?
It's part of her training. Someone was. We had our craft parked outside her house for years.
Okay.
When we needed it.
Why did she get the pain in her ears at 101 Depression?
That was from a mission trip. Part of her training.
Why did she survive being locked in a deep freezer at 101 Depression?
Because we needed her. And we didn't want to waste the training. So she used part of her training to survive.
What abilities were gained or realized at 101 Depression?
Frequency, power of thought.
How old was she at 101 Depression?
Looks like 11 to 13. Right at the end of her training.
What age did all this start? What age did all of her training start?
Six. 5 to 6. She was 5. She just turned 6.
When was she selected to be part of this training?
When her mom rolled on her when she was a baby. She wanted to leave. And we talked to her about staying, and she did.
What time of day did she always wake up at 101 Depression?
Zero 4.
Why is that time important?
It's usually the time she was returning from training. Which she was programmed to think she was in a deep sleep. A nice, relaxing sleep.
What was she training for?
Her missions later.
What was it used for? What was her training used for?
The training was used to collect information to mediate between densities. So for that, she's been up to the 12th density. To help Earth evolve at this present time, any density higher than 5 doesn't necessarily want to get involved. However, they're all there and watching. So recruits were needed and made to bring them as mediators, as teachers, communicators, as healers, as many different tasks. Those were hers. She would learn different modalities, abilities to use on many different races. She was used for communication. She helped make alliances. She is able to teach, able to demonstrate, to communicate. She's pretty good at it. She's having a difficult time on Earth because the military factor scares a lot of people just from their own unknowing. But she has the same mission. It's just she's more grounded and focused on her family and raising them at the moment. But before, she worked with the Galactic Council, mediating, communicating for the higher densities and their alliances. To mediate or to communicate between the two, between them, not the two. There's many more.
When and where was her training used? How long ago was it used?
It hasn't stopped. Time and space travel isn't as domesticated as human development. It can happen in the blink of an eye. If you use mass, I'm not sure if you're ready for that.
What was the reason for experiencing that?
It was her contract after her mom rolled on her.
Okay. How was things after the military?
Difficult. She was having a lot of difficulty. She was used to having people listen and having influence and persuasion. And having a sense of that and that structure, but living a different life and having that sense, it was just a battle, a mental battle.
What or how is this information to be used?
However she wants. Those who don't mind will hear it. Those who mind will some will fear it, some will hear it, some will dismiss it altogether. She's not to forcibly change anyone. Just tell the story. They want to believe it, they will, and their life will change. They don't. That's the choice that they've made. And that's okay too.
What is the significance of the places she has been?
Repeat question.
Do they still track her?
from time to time. But now that she does this, we can connect easier now.
How do they track her?
Mentally.